Cindy Sheehan, great to have you pop in with us today.
Hey, Alex. Always nice to be on with you.
Always good to have you here. Okay, in a nutshell, tell us where you're going, what you're doing.
Well, I heard back in June that Obama would be vacationing on Martha's Vineyard in August, so we've been trying to put together, a protest against him, and finally everything came together this weekend where it looks like we'll be able to go out there. Part of the problem, and I heard you guys talking about it a little bit, is that the so-called anti-war movement doesn't want to have anything focused on Obama against the occupations and the wars of Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iraq. And, Iraq's not over yet. And so anyway, we've come up against some considerable resistance from the left. But then over this past week, when it looks like, this fake debate about health care and, all these the right playing into the hands of the Democratic Party that doesn't want to give a public option for health care. And so it looks like the White House is caving into that. And I'm like, well, why don't we on the left, the anti-war left, go out and exert pressure on him to start bringing the troops down from the Middle East and actually to, enforce some kind of sane foreign policy instead of all these, and I think that, of course, the wars are for chaos, but the wars are also for profit. So we have to exert the same kind of pressure, because if Obama can fold to the right, why can't he also fold to the left?
Well, Cindy Sheehan, of course, lost her son over in Iraq, and has one of the big iconic image the last 6-7 years exposing these fraudulent wars of hegemon. How do we expose the fact that the anti-war movement is foundation funded and demand that they stand up to Obama? I mean, I guess we do what you're doing, go out and expose that fraud, or any other ideas of how we can get that done?
Well, I certainly think that we have to remain consistent and pure and try not to be co-opted by the same forces that co-opted many large anti-war groups in this country. And so we need to just, stay pure and stay focused. And this isn't getting quite the attention that going out to the Bush Ranch got. So, there's a lot of false debates going on, so we need to redirect it where the debate needs to be, and that's ending this empire, this military-industrial empire. And we can't get anything else done in this country until that happens. And so hopefully when I go out to Martha's Vineyard, like when I went to Crawford, Texas, the press will be there. People will start being able to hear that message. There's many people on the so-called left that still think Obama is some kind of a peace person. So that really needs to be exposed, and that myth.
Well, that's because his election obviously has been used to totally get all these issues off the table. It's la-la land. The establishment craftily did that, making the war like it was just Bush's and not the establishment that controls both these presidents. But Cindy, overall, and I want to get Webster's comment on this, the incredible drop of Obama. His
right.
polls have gone from the 80s to the mid-40s now. He lost 3 points last week, lowest approval rating of any president 8 months into their administration. Are you worried about him staging any type of crises or terror attack like we saw from Bush as a pretext to try to continue this agenda?
Well, that's a concern that we always have to worry about, but that doesn't mean that we quit our activism or quit speaking the truth to the power. That we have to go forward, and we have to, first of all, I support 100% the 9/11 truth movement, and I support the ballot initiative in New York City to get a new investigation going. But that's one thing that needs to be exposed over and over and over again, is how our governments do have these, and I don't know who caused 9/11. I know you guys know. I don't know who caused it. But over and over and over again, we have these, so-called disasters that get us into one war after the other, but not just wars, having our civil liberties taken away here at home. So those things, we just have to keep talking about it, and we can't let them get away with another event like that.
Well, Miss Sheehan, you know that it came out about Gulf of Tonkin and all these other staged events. It's an Army manual.
Well, you start calling me Miss Sheehan.
Miss. Yeah, Cindy. I'm thinking about staged events, though. We know about Gulf of Tonkin. We know about other events.
Right.
We know Cheney did want to blow up U.S. ships and blame it on Iran.
Right.
So I think we defeat their false flag by pointing out that they may engage in false flag. And by
absolutely. I agree with you.
And by not letting them play us off against each other in the left-right paradigm, which is very, very hard to do as they polarize things. Webster, any questions or comments for Cindy Sheehan?
I think that's wonderful news. And the only question I have is, Cindy, how can people support you? Is there a website? Is there a PayPal? How can people link up, and how can they support you financially?
That's an awesome question. You can go to cindysheehansoapbox.com. There's a donate button. And if you do use PayPal, my account is Cindy at cindysheehansoapbox.com. And we just have to use all the tools that we have to expose the robber class that I call them. It's all about the robber class, and it's all about this divide. Bush and Obama are both members of it. And it's not about the person. It's about the system, and it's about the policies.
Exactly. The president, the personality becomes the distraction, the diversion from the real debate and the real issues. Well, hopefully we can get you to pop in then when you're out there demonstrating from Martha's Vineyard. Thank you so much, Cindy Sheehan. We'll get it up on the website.
Thank you.
God bless you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Webster, we're going to come back, closing 5 minutes from you. Then we've got our surprise guest scheduled coming up in the final hour today. I will just leave it at that for everybody. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Our websites are prisonplanet.tv and infowars.com. We're streaming live right now at prisonplanet.tv.
But let me just maybe stress, if I could, that Cindy Sheehan is a great voice in a great cause. And now, any peace activist in New England, if you're in Boston, if you're in New York City, you know what to do. It's time to make tracks towards Martha's Vineyard and exercise your First Amendment rights and protest these wars. And don't be fooled by left cover. And the way to do this is not to be exaggeratedly deferential. Please, dear Mr. President, we know you're a peace angel, but you haven't had time to listen to our pathetic little bleeding cries, which is what the AWOL peace people have done, right? The people who have just disappeared. Now we've got the genuine leader of this movement coming forward, I think, quite effectively, saying that this has gone far enough, and it's time to take a stand. This is really going to hurt Obama, because how do you demonize Cindy Sheehan? You're not going to be able to say, you come out with this load of insults. She was demonized by the neocons back in 2005, 2006. So what are they going to do? Demonize her now from the left? It doesn't work. So this is a significant factor now in Obama's predicament.
Yeah, well, Webster, what they're going to do is they're going to ignore her.
Well, they may look. The U.S. media may ignore her up to a point, but remember,
agree. So the alternative,
the world media will be there. The Russians, the Chinese, Al Jazeera, they're going to be highly interested. So this is going to have a worldwide effect, and I think that then kicks over back into the U.S. because when it becomes a story around the world, they can't ignore it here.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say there, is that we also, though, have to, as activists, getting past these political labels, say no and be involved here as well. Webster, I carry all 4 of your books for listeners, and we have the book on the economic cataclysm, we have the 2 books on Obama, and the book Synthetic Terror, all available at Infowars.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Webster, as always, thank you so much. Webster's in our film, The Obama Deception. He's in the new film coming out in October. So again, Webster, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Bye-bye.
You bet. Take care. There goes Webster.